that weren't. So you see what I did there, right, Doc?
What happened?
We're just starting now again. I didn't hit that right thing. When I started, we weren't even live yet, so that's good.
Okay.
That works out. So
We're back.
so we're back again. I know I was having a little bit of technical difficulties, but welcome everybody. Welcome into Light It Up. I was having a little technical difficulties. We thought we were live and we weren't, so that's even better.
All right, we get the reboot.
Yeah, so we got the reboot. So we're going to just we'll start. You know what we'll do is we were just talking about the 49ers and the Packers, so we'll just continue going where we were.
Yeah.
Like I was just saying, the Packers since week 13 they've won, but they haven't beaten a good defense like the 49ers. I mean, they beat the Giants, they beat the Redskins, they beat the Bears, which is a number 8 defense, but all the rest of them are. You know, the Giants are number 25, the Redskins number 27, the Lions number 31, and the Seahawks, which I was surprised, they're ranked 26th. So I'll tell you, it'll be different. And you would think the 49ers got to take out Devontae Adams after the way he played last week, right, Doc?
Well, the thing with Adams, they're going to focus on him. Listen, the Packers, they only have like one really deep threat, as far as so. And he's probably going to be Sherman, trail him all day. Even though he plays that one side more or less, they're going to try to shake him away for Sherman. And like I told before we first came on, before we went live, the success for Green Bay is going to have to be this. They're going to have to get Aaron Jones involved in the passing game out of the backfield. Both backs, as a matter of fact, they're going to have to move the pocket. Rodgers is going to make those quick throws. Now, Rodgers can make the quick throws. He does have pretty good protection, but he does hold the ball a long time. That's the knock on him, with what they had going, so far this season. But, they're going to be up against it in a lot of different ways here. But for them to have success, they're going to definitely have to get the running backs involved in the passing game with a lot of bubble screens, a lot of plays maybe that kind of, if they get behind that front seven, that's going to be key. And then try to push the ball down the field every now and then. But San Francisco eats every side of the ball. They got over 2,000 yards rushing with the 3 running backs. And, it's going to be a tough game. Now, we weren't live before, but I told you the plays I made so far in this game.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I bet earlier in the week on Wednesday I took over 17.5 points team total for Green Bay, and it's up to 19.5. So that's a good look bet there. And also I took this morning or early this morning I took over 7.5 points
for the first half.
Minus 120, yeah.
So. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, no, I like that. I like that bet. The one bet I have on that game so far is, most of my bets were on the Chiefs Titans game. But the one bet I put a 3-team teaser in last week with the LSU over. I ended up getting that was over 57.5. Knocked it down from 67.5. I also have the 49ers minus 1.5 and the 49er Packer over 35.
Yeah, so, I like that.
So that's what I need for that. My first 3-team teaser I took all year long. Right. I was talking about before this time of year. I tell you, I look for more like weird type of bets like that. I look more for prop bets when it comes into the playoffs and the wild card games. I seem to stray away from just the straight side bets a lot. It just anything could happen. I mean, and boy, the Titans. Somebody that really proves that point, man. Anything can happen. So this time of year,
I usually
stray away. It's playoff football, man. And speaking about those Titans, man, I'll tell you, they've played some great ball the last couple of weeks. They went into New England plus 4.5, and they win by 7. Then they go into the Ravens, were they plus 10 maybe? They win by 16.
10 points.
Yeah, they win by 16. I mean, they had just been a covering machine. They've just been a winning machine. And I almost feel like that game today, either the Chiefs win by 7 to 10 points or more, or the Titans win outright. And that's really how I felt. Almost like you would put in which is weird, but you would put in a Chiefs minus 7 bet and a Titans money line bet. I could see one of those two things happening, honestly. Not that I would put that bet in, but this is how I see it. I don't know. I don't really see it being a game like the last time they played, where it was a 3-point win, a very, very high-scoring game. It was 38-35 or something like that the last time they played.
Yeah.
And that was week 10 or so, or week 12. I think it was week 10. But you know what? That was the week that Mahomes came back from his knee injury. That was his first game back. And that was also a game where Tyreek Hill was still suspended. So I mean, that's something that could come into play in this game. If I had to make a bet on the side, I would take the Chiefs minus the points. Yeah, I would take the Chiefs minus the points if I had to take a bet on that. That's what I would take for sure. But listen, the Titans
we both got the Chiefs.
Say that again.
They definitely have a shot. I think we both have a futures bet on the Chiefs in the Super Bowl also.
Yes, we do. Plus 500.
Yeah. We're both on that. But I mean, dangerous team right now, the Titans. They're catching fire. Just like the Ravens did a few years back when they kind of ran with Flacco all the way up to the Super Bowl, like the Giants did. These wild card teams, these 5-6 whole teams, when they get hot, they get a lot of momentum going. And that's the one thing I talked about before the playoffs started. Is it a disadvantage or an advantage? In most cases, it's a disadvantage for a wild card team. But when you get a team playing as good as this team is playing right now, and we know what they're doing. They're riding off the back of Henry. Henry's got almost 3 straight 200-yard games, which is unheard of. I think it's been like the 50s since somebody's done something like that in the NFL.
188 average in the postseason.
188, almost 200 yards.
That's
crazy.
The average.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, they know it's coming, but they can't stop it. And they're going to line up. They're going to try to do now. Jones being out or not being out, but being quite a big question mark for Kansas City. That's got to be a little bit worrisome for them to have one of the key guys to be banged up in this point in the season. You try to stay healthy for the playoffs, and that's what it's all about too. Teams that are healthy, and I think if they can kind of keep them off of some third down plays, shut them down a little bit. And then Mahomes, the thing about the Kansas City is so quick strike.
They quick.
So you can't rely on that though. They're going to have to. Yeah, they can score points, pretty fast.
Who do you
they're
take away?
Get in a shooting match, I don't think.
If you're the Titans, who are you taking away, Doc? You taking away Hill or you taking away Kelsey?
You got to take.
I'm taking away Kelsey. I think he's the best player on the field, maybe.
Absolutely,
he's a great. I think he's the best tight end in football, hands down. And
listen, Mahomes has been their leading rusher last week, right? So they can't rely on Mahomes to carry the load. I mean, they're going to have to rely on Hill, without a doubt, to kind of get involved, to make some plays also. But, Kansas City's definitely going to have to game. And I don't think it's going to be in regards to just, pounding the football, because that's not their style. But they can make the big plays. And like you said, they're going to have to take away one key aspect of the game. And then in playoff football, if you look at the teams that are eating right now, Kansas City and Frisco, is because of the tight ends, Kittle and Kelsey.
That's right. That's right.
That's the key component for me in playoffs is the tight end.
I'll tell you, since the Chiefs lost to the Titans, they're 7-0 since they lost. They have an average score of 31-14 in that span. They are the best covered team percentage-wise in the NFL. But here's a coincidence, one of those coincidence stats that obviously it's not really, you can't really bet off this stat, but Andy Reid is 1-8 lifetime against the Titans. That's the worst record. His worst team that beats him all the time is the Titans, which is and we know what
a time to face him.
Yeah, and Andy Reid has had to, you got to feel bad for the guy. I mean, we all remember last year and D Ford, going off sides. How about that? Andy Reid probably didn't sleep for about a month after that play.
Right.
But the Chiefs say, listen,
ironic.
They're at home. They win at home. They won the last 4 straight at home. They're the 5th ranked offense, the Chiefs, this year, and this is surprising. The Titans' pass defense is number 24, and that bodes. That's going to be a problem for the Titans if that doesn't change around. That's for sure.
Well, that's why I kind of like Houston when they went to play Houston in the first game of the playoffs, because how bad their secondary was. Everybody says, they're going to have a field day throwing the ball down the field, and none of those games came to fruition. Then last week, with Baltimore. I was just credit to their defense. Shutting what's his name down, Jackson. So I mean, anything could happen. Things when the ball starts bouncing a certain way in the playoffs for teams, then it becomes, I'm not gonna say destiny, but it becomes a big confidence boost. They start believing, thinking differently, and it's all about the health, execution, and just not turning the ball over. See, and I think that's one thing Tennessee's been doing a lot lately. They've been getting a lot of turnovers, and it's been helping them maintain these big field position drives and running back plays,
right?
And just moving forward, giving them a lot of momentum. So, and I don't think you're going to see Mahomes turn the ball over a lot here. I think Mahomes, he's a special player, one of a kind. He's a generational player, playing at home, like you say. So I think this is where the road comes to an end for Tennessee. And it's like you say, if Tennessee wins, they're not going to win by margin. I don't think they're going to do what they did to Baltimore, but I think they might squeeze out a victory, eke out a victory.
Right.
I seen Vrabel talking about it. Vrabel, they're going in with the mindset that they're going to come in there and they're going to eke out a victory. They're not going to blow them off the ball. They're going to try to play the game the way they've been playing all along.
Right?
Late in the season.
What got him here? That's what he's going to try to do. And let's face it, the Chiefs are definitely playing a better team than the Houston, and they sure as hell are playing a better coach than Bill O'Brien. That's for damn sure. But then again, we're better coaches than Bill O'Brien. Thank you everybody who coming in from the chat. Our boy Trotwam, Max, Greg, our boy Greg plus EV is in the house. Richard's place. Right. Thanks guys for joining us. You guys have a score on the Chiefs Titans game? Type it in. Let me know what it is. As far as the before I give you out my plays, I got a bunch of prop plays. As far as on the Titans end, the Chiefs are obviously going to have to attempt to stop Henry. I mean, I guess you got to not stop him, but slow him down. Obviously, you're going to have to do that. I think what they're going to try to do is try to put the ball in Tannehill's hand. And Tannehill, in these wins, he's had he has less than 100 yards in each game. He has been just 15, 16
So what's a prop on him?
But I took the Tannehill prop over 18 completions. I think he's going to have to throw the ball a little bit. I think he's going to have to, I'm hoping Humphreys plays today. By the way, he's been hurt. And they said he was suiting up, and I would love to see him come in the game. I think he'd be a nice little weapon for them. But I just think that Tannehill's going to have to throw the ball a little bit. They're not going to be able to rely just on handing Henry the ball. Yeah. But, I mean, they're going to try. I guess we'll see what happens. But I kind of like that bet, the Tannehill over 18 completions. Another bet I have in that game is Mahomes over 24 completions.
I like that.
Minus 120. I think, Mahomes, he's a dink and dunk master. He either dinks and dunks or he's throwing a long one. He throws those balls to Kelsey, a 10-yard little flick to Kelsey, all day long, and he just adds 20 yards to that. But I got Mahomes over 24 yards. I also have Mahomes over rushing yards, 27.5. Now, that damn thing opened up, I think, 4 or 5 yards less than that at the beginning of the week. Wow. And then when I looked before I came back on the show, I took it at 27.5 minus 120. It was up to 28.5 minus 125 within a half hour. So obviously people are betting that. I think the way I think Mahomes will probably have to rush for a couple yards there. I think he could get that, especially if they try to take away Kelsey. That might open up some some running lanes for him.
Yeah,
but
if they double up on Kelsey, somebody's got to be responsible for Mahomes, and if they double up on somebody, he's not afraid to take off and run either. You know what I mean? So
that's probably a good one. Mahomes over rushing yards, 27.5. Mahomes over 24 completions. Kelsey's longest reception over 21.5 yards, minus 115. I think that's a great bet. I think I just love that bet. I also like Sammy Watkins. He's the type of player that comes alive, and the teams always forget about that little guy.
Right.
And in the postseason, all of a sudden he's there. And I took a Sammy Watkins over 43.5 receiving yards total. I think they're going to go to him a couple times. I think, especially with the Titans are concentrating on Kelsey and Hill, I think that might open up for Watkins. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 prop bets I took on that. And then I took 3 players to score a touchdown anytime. Kelsey minus 120, Watkins plus 170, and Humphreys, if he plays, plus 500. Those were the 3 anytime TD prop bets that I took. So there you go.
3 times
anytime. Not first TD. Time, anytime TD. Kelsey was minus 120. Watkins was plus 170. And Adam Humphreys, who's been hurt, and they say he was going to come back. If he does, I think they're going to try to go to him. And they have him at plus 500, so I thought it was worth a shot. My prop bets aren't big bets whatsoever. They never were. I always take a small, I take them in that $50 range, and that's how I do it with prop bets. The only prop bet that I doubled up on was Mahomes over 27.5 yards. That was the only one I doubled up on.
I like the Mahomes. Other than that,
other than that, that's what I have. The teaser I took, I have a $200 teaser, LSU. I hit the first leg, which was over 57.5. I got the 49ers today at 1.5 and over 35 in that game. So those are my bets today, Doc.
Yeah, I like them. I went back and looked at Mahomes. The 12 AFC games that he played this year. Not including the playoffs, but in every one of those, if you just take the averages, he's well north of 30 passes.
Yeah.
And I know, they're going to try. I don't think they're going to try to really come out and control the clock in this game, to be honest with you. They're just looking at opportunities to push the ball down the field, whether it be coming out of the backfield, him taking off running, or, dink and dunking or throwing it long. So Mahomes is going to get his reps regardless. So it's not going to be a ball control. Ball control is going to be on the other side. So if you want to take a prop on Tennessee, obviously you're going to be looking towards Henry, with his numbers. But anything involved with Kansas City, you have to time into Mahomes, and like you say, Kelsey might be a little bit not dangerous, but he'll probably get the big play, but maybe they'll be having some double teams on him. And then
that's why I think
opportunities down the field for somebody else. I like the Watkins one too. Watkins, he could probably shake loose and get a big play down the field. So Kansas City's definitely going to score points. There's no question about it.
Yeah, I can't see them just like you say. Just they're going to look to push the ball down the field. They're going to look to get up on the Titans. They sure as hell better not come out the way they did against Houston and go down 21-3. They go down 21-3 in the first half of this game, they might be done with. I don't know if they're going to be able to come back like that against the Titans. That's for sure. But I mean, that was just
the block punt.
They were so nervous. The team with Kelsey was dropping balls.
It was crazy.
It was some of the weirdest stuff that we've seen in a long time, man. That's for sure. Let's see if the lines changes at all. Kansas City, no 7. I have -7, and the under and over at 52. What do you have any thoughts on that on the total?
What's the total? 52. 52. Yeah, I would lean more towards the probably. I would say more towards the under. I would think this game's probably going to be winding up in the higher 40s. Right. Unless something drastically happens, with Tennessee, but Tennessee, I think, they're probably going to score. I'd probably say close to 20 points today. And
their team total is low. I thought their team total was low.
I'd probably say 17-20, and I say Kansas City is probably going to be like 28, 27, 28 points somewhere in that range. So I can see this being like a 28-20 final or 20. 27, 17, somewhere in that range. Even though, just because we know Henry's gonna pound the ball. So I think they'll probably win the time of possession, but they'll probably come out on the short end of the stick.
Yeah, see, our buddy Joe Ramirez, he has the first half Titans team total over 9.5. You always gotta like a team total when it's on. If it's under that
Double
10,
digits.
you gotta like
Yeah.
it, man. And DJ was asking about, hey, no, DJ, he was asking about the Kittle. I have Kittle, and he's right. Green Bay is soft in the middle. I have Kittle receiving yards over 76.5 minus 125. Receptions 6.5 and longest reception 23.5. See, that's why I took the Kelsey longest reception as opposed to his receptions. It was 6.5. Just like you were saying, in case they double team
You
him,
shake a
or
big play.
he can always shake 21 yards, 22 yards. I mean, that's what it was. So I think 21.5 was the longest reception. He can always shake at least one. But that's why I didn't take the total.
Yeah.
His total was in the 70s also, just like Kittle. But I tell you, that would be a good discussion. I said I would take Kelsey as my tight end if I was starting a team. But boy, you could definitely argue taking Kittle. That's for sure. What a great year he's had too.
Yeah, I mean, playoff football is all about the tight ends.
Tight ends,
look
man.
at New England over the years with Gronk. With the monster play. So you've got that same MO here in both of these teams. Both the hot teams coming in. The Chiefs and the 49ers. 49ers have been hot all year. Chiefs have been hot all year. I mean, it's all because the balanced play, the big play capability, and the the tight end. The tight end sets up the whole offense for me,
right?
Especially playoff football. That's what I'm saying. Playoff football is a different animal, and you got to really focus on these tight ends and their blocking schemes and their ability to make plays downfield. And they've been eating, with Kittle and Kelsey. Those are the guys.
Sure.
Those are the guys that are going to carry these teams to the Super Bowl in my book.
I mean, you would think that Andy Reid would love for them to be doubling Kelsey, because that would just leave Tyreek Hill one-on-one, right?
Right.
Or Watkins or so.
Watkins.
But I agree 100% what you were saying.
I'd like to see Williams get involved a little bit too, out of the backfield too, possibly for Kansas City. And we know what Hill. He's a speed demon. You know what I mean? He's the fastest guy on the planet in my book, as far as when it comes to being on the football field. So, I mean, they got so many weapons. They've got so many looks. But Tennessee, they're going to show up. They're going to do their thing, and they're going to line up. And KC, we'll see if they can slow them down, so to speak. We'll see. I'm kind of hoping. I'm kind of hoping for. Did you take the over? You said the 52, or you teased it down?
I didn't touch that. I took. I teased the second game, the 49er game. I have over 35 in that game.
It's over. You teased over. All right, that's a good look there.
I went from 45 to 35. I had that 10-point teaser. I brought it down to 35. That's what I did. That Mahomes prop I was talking about, the rushing yards, now it's up to 29.5 minus 135. So I took it. It's 137 now. I took it around a quarter to 1, 12:30 at 27.5 minus 120. Oh no, minus 115, and it is up to 29.5 minus 135. So people are banging that prop at. I'm glad I got in at least at 27.5. It's kind of an obvious one, and sometimes when it's so obvious, it doesn't happen. But that's what's going on. I did also take one hockey game today. I took the New York Rangers minus 125. They're playing tonight against the Columbus Blue Jackets. I had the Blue Jackets last night who were at home against the Devils. I had the puck line plus 150, so that was a decent play. And I had the under in that game, so it worked out well. But they're going to travel up to New York. The Columbus. Well, first of all, the Rangers have been playing great. They've been playing. They beat the Islanders the other day in Nassau. It might have been in Brooklyn, but it was in the Islanders. No, it wasn't Nassau, I think. They beat the Islanders when I thought they wouldn't. They beat the Islanders a couple of nights ago at the Garden when I took the Rangers, and they played a great game. But then they went into at the Islanders' home, and I thought they were going to lose. They played another great game. And there's two teams this year that they talked about that they had to play good against because they notoriously don't play good against, and that's the Blue Jackets and that's the Islanders. And Tortorella, the Blue Jackets coach, man, he's an emotional guy to begin with, and every time he comes up into MSG, it always seems to be crazy tough games, and the Rangers have been playing pretty well against them. So I think with the travel spot, and I think with that line, it looks like everybody would jump on the Blue Jackets because they have been playing great, but I went with the Rangers minus 125 tonight, 7 o'clock at MSG. That's the only hockey game I took. Yeah.
A couple of days ago, I made my first hockey play.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about that. I
Thursday,
see that.
First official hockey play.
Yeah, with the Vegas Golden
I played a couple first periods.
That was a good bet.
Right after they fired go on.
Yeah. That was a great. That was
I got
a
like
great
plus
bet. Yeah, I took the over in that game.
I figured the team would rally.
Yeah, that was my one loss yesterday.
And then last night I lost a couple.
No, my one loss last night was the Golden Knight. I took Golden Knights against the Canadians, and they lost. Maybe even in the shootout. I'm not sure,
early,
but they lost. Yeah, they were getting beat bad early. But I did have the over in that game. I tailed Nicky, and so we hit the over. He was talking about that yesterday, so that was great. Before when I started the show before that, I wasn't live. I mentioned that what we're gonna do with Light It Up is, this is like a crazy week. We're in the middle of nowhere this week. I figured instead of doing it, and since we did a show today, instead of doing one tomorrow night, we'll come back on January 27th, which will be the following Monday night. We'll have a big Super Bowl. All the prop bets will be out, and we'll have a big Super Bowl show. Me, you, DJ, Trot, the Who-Bangin boys will come on. We'll do a big Super Bowl prop show and get us going for the week. I know you'll be out there. On Thursday or so? You're going out there?
Friday.
The
31st.
Great, man. I wish I could have hit it this time, but what I'm shooting for is to go out there maybe in March Madness if you guys are going to be back out there.
Yeah, we are.
That'll probably work out for me a little bit better. It was just a tough time. This last month has been a little bit crazy for me. So,
it always gets crazy this time of year with the holidays.
And there's some crazy things happen in the family that out of nowhere, like everybody. The
Life
usual.
comes at you
It's
all
always
different ways, man.
That's right. That's right. For some reason, I let it affect me lately. I've been in like a funk for the last month. So that's another reason I said, let me get on the show here. Let me get back with my boys. Let's get back into business. And that's what it's all about. So what we'll do is, and we'll start promoting it, and we'll start the new season of Light It Up, the official new season of Light It Up on January 27th on that Monday night. And we'll have a big Super Bowl show and see where we're going to get. So the Super Bowl, as far as I can see, for me, is going to be the Chiefs against the 49ers. I know the networks would love to see maybe the Chiefs against the Packers because of that. What was that, the first Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, Super Bowl I. Yeah.
I know the networks probably weren't loving this Titans making this. You know how it is, man. These networks are looking. They would have loved to see the Patriots in there again. They always want to see the marketable teams in it. No one wanted to see the Titans win in the Super Bowl except for people in Tennessee. That's for sure. But I'll tell you, if the Titans could pull off an upset today, I'd be hard to go against them in the Super Bowl, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know. What do you think?
I would.
That would
you have to almost call them a team of destiny.
Yeah, if they played,
they have to be like a team of destiny.
If they played the 49ers, I would think the point. I tell you, I don't know how they would.
At something.
Do you have any? Do you have advanced type of lines out there? I know you.
I do. I got to memorize. I think if I want to say Kansas City in each scenario, if they played if Kansas City plays Green Bay,
go ahead.
They're 4.5. They're 4.5 point favorites.
That makes sense.
If they play the 49ers, they're 1 point favorites.
1,
over
2
the
points.
49ers.
Yeah. Right.
But
they would be favored. The Chiefs would be favored.
I got to go back. Chiefs are favored.
Okay, gotcha.
Chiefs are favored.
Gotcha.
Because they're I think they're the shortest price team. And then the 49ers, I think the 49ers versus Titans, I want to say that was, 6.5?
Okay.
7 maybe.
Makes sense.
And then the Titans and the Yeah, Titans, 49ers, and then the 49. We know the 49ers Chiefs already. So, and then what's the other one? We're missing one. 49ers Chiefs.
Green Bay against the
Oh yeah,
Titans.
Green Bay. Yeah, Green Bay Titans. I think Green Bay was a small favorite, like 3, 2.5, 3 points,
Gotcha.
something like that.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Interesting. I'll
yeah.
tell you, any game would be good, man. Any game would, listen, we love football. So, for me, this week and last week are the best weeks in football. Wild card, last divisional round, championship round. I love those more than the Super Bowl. These are the greatest days to, for football. Matter of fact, my friends called me and tell you, let's get a card game together and watch the game. I'm like, no. I got too much money, Rod. I'm not playing cards and watching the game. It's all about the games today. That's for sure.
Right. Let me ask you this: do you do any live betting on these games during the playoffs, or you just
I haven't
the props
yet.
in?
I haven't yet, but I'm not saying that I won't. Now that I have my Bovada account that I can bet live, I haven't yet, but it might be a day today. I mean, what would you look for in a live bet? Would you look for like say Green Bay going up 7-0, 10-0, then you would jump on the 49ers, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
like
I would use it 2 ways.
Go ahead.
Two ways. I would look at it as a hedge opportunity, like if you were on the side certain way early, and then you can maybe catch a nice little middle, so to speak.
Gotcha.
And like you say, if you had an expectations of a price, a value point, coming in, like you said, if the team went down 7-0, 10-0, and you can come in and get a decent money line played, that way, I would look at that too. Not so much a point spread differential, but maybe money line on the plus side. So
okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, I think basketball is the best sport to bet live because the swings are so big in basketball. But football they present some opportunities too. But I'm not much. I'm more like a halftime, first half, and what do you call maybe a totals perspective.
Right.
You just see how a game goes. Like if you would have got involved with a live bet on Kansas City being down 24-0, imagine what that would have paid back.
Oh man, I'll tell you. I thought somebody said it in one of the chats. I don't know if it was our private chat, but someone mentioned that they jumped on the Chiefs. I tell you that would have been. But I'll tell you the truth though. I fell into the trap. I fell into the trap too. We were on the Miami chat. I was talking a lot. Me and Al Mack were going back and forth, and I fell right into that trap. The game's over. Andy Reid again falling on his face. Houston is going to actually do this. I didn't think Houston would win the week before. So then when they came out ahead, was it 24-0? Yeah,
24-0.
Unbelievable. I thought it was 21-3. It was unbelievable, and I started falling into that trap. And then I said at the end of the game, I'm like, you know what? I've been betting too long to fall into that stupid trap of games being over. I've seen it a million times, and I was mad at myself for actually, you never know what's going to happen, and boy, there's any game proves that is that Chief Houston Texan game. That's for sure.
Hey, you know what started flashing through my mind when I seen that shit going on? I was thinking of Frank Wright coming off the bench, down 31-0. The Bills, when the Bills were playing another Houston team, Houston Oilers back then, they were down 31-0, and he come back and rallied them, and they tied it up 31 apiece, and then they went to overtime and won 34-31 and kicked the field goal. Buffalo, that was unbelievable.
That's
the largest comeback. Yeah, largest comeback in NFL history, playoffs.
My biggest bet that I lost $1,000 Super Bowl bet, $1,000 on the Buffalo Bills when they played the Giants. I'm sitting in an apartment in Queens with about 30 guys upstairs from a club, and everybody's yelling, screaming, blah blah blah. Mostly Giant fans. Scott Norwood misses that field goal. I just got up as the ball's in the air. You just knew it, man. I just put on my coat and walked away and left. And I remember the next day, everybody's like, all of a sudden, we looked up, everybody's jumping around. And it was like, what happened to Dom? What happened to Dom? I didn't say a word to nobody. I just put my head between my tail, put my coat on and said, Jesus. And that was that Buffalo Bill when they had that nice run where they didn't freaking win a damn Super Bowl, but got there 4 times. Boy, oh boy, I'll never forget that loss.
Super Bowl 25.
Yep, I'll never forget that loss.
I remember because the game was played in Tampa. Yeah,
that was nice.
crazy.
I was moving furniture back in the days before I owned my own business. I'm lucky if I made $1,000 for the week, and put it on the game. It's always it's always great, right? Losing a whole week's pay on a freaking game. We've all been there. I know that for sure.
Those are the ones you remember.
That's right. And I say with betting all the time, man. It's all relative. If you're making $25,000 a year, that's right. Losing $100 in a week is a lot of friggin' money, man. Right?
Yeah.
You're taking home $400, $500 a week. You lose $100, it's a lot of money. It's all relative. People like, oh, he only bets this amount. How do you know how much money somebody has?
Yeah.
So
it's all relative.
You make $100,000.
All bankroll management.
That's right. It always comes down to that, man. And for me, that was probably the first thing that got me out of being just a losing player was first taking it more serious, and second, that bankroll management was bankroll management and records for me really turned me around a lot. When you go back and you read, like, you actually look at what you can think about all these bad games that you bet this and that, but when you read it and you're like looking at records, you're like, Jesus. But that's when you can make the change, right? That's when you can make the change. So that's definitely
5 bets and just go. I mean, it's a lot of hype. Super Bowl. Don't forget now. There's a lot of other sports going on Super Bowl Sunday. That might not even be the best game on the board. Super Bowl Sunday, there might be something else that has a little bit better value. But it's definitely going to be the most hype game, the most talked about, the most bet game of the year. So everybody kind of falls into that trap, like you say. So just be careful with it and have fun. That's what you're supposed to do.
That's what, for me, the Super Bowl is. I tell you, that's one of the games I bet the least over the last 10 years. Probably it's one of the games I bet the least all year long is the Super Bowl. I love looking at for those props and stuff, but
the props are fun. They're fun, just like any other game.
Yeah. So that's great, man. All right, Doc. So we have a 3:00 game, 3:05. I don't know what time does this game start.
3:05.
Okay, man. So we'll be on our little private chat. Also, we'll be on Twitter. We'll see if maybe we can get something going on for the first half. See what happens in the first half. Maybe we can hit some nice bets for the second half. I always love looking at second halves in these kind of games.
Yeah.
As far as these 4 teams, the Packers seem to be the worst second half team. There's a stat that Al Mack put out a couple of weeks ago about the third quarter, how it goes. The third quarter has gone under. I forget the percentage, but it's an overwhelming statistic that games go under the total in the third quarter.
Third quarter totals?
Yeah. And I think
you have to bet those before the game start, though.
Yeah.
You can't make those second half plays.
I think the San Francisco Packer game might bode well for a stat like that. That's for sure. The Packers haven't played well in the second half lately. So, that's an interesting game, man. I'll tell you, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I don't believe in Aaron Rodgers,
so
but we'll see.
What does that tell you? What does that tell you about a team that doesn't play well in the second half?
Yeah,
more likely, it's just a coaching problem there. Not that he's a bad coach, but he's a young coach. He's a first-year coach, right?
First-year coach.
Right. So isn't Shanahan, but Shanahan, I would say, has a little more experience because he's been in these type situations as far as, he's been in a Super Bowl before. He's been in the playoffs before. So got to give him the nod just a little bit. And he's got a little bit better talented team. So not to say that I'm going to put my money on him, but I'm just saying it's probably the situation sets up better. Home field, a little bit better team. Been there, done it, so.
I'll tell you, they had an interesting discussion on the NFL Network before we get out of here on who's the most pressure on. Which quarterback has the most pressure? Is it Mahomes or is it Rodgers? And my pick was Rodgers because they all want. I know he's won one Super Bowl, but he wants to get that second one. And obviously, listen, the one thing we can't beat is time, right? Time is running out for Aaron Rodgers. That's for sure. Yeah. This year definitely showed it. I would think the more pressure is on him. What do you think about that?
Yeah, without question. It's on him because more. I'm not gonna say more dependent upon him. To make the key plays and carry the load for the team, but just for the amount of weapons and the pressure that's going to be coming at him from San Francisco. Not saying that take anything away from Tennessee, putting pressure up on Mahomes, but I just think, being on the road, the environment, the caliber of players that are on the other side of the football, he's going to be up against it without a doubt.
Yeah, without a doubt. All right, Doc, it was great, man. Thanks for joining me. It was great being back on. We will. I'll be back I'll be in the chat around 3:00, and let's get some good football in.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Hey, before we go, let me give my plays for the guys that came a little late. I'm on Green Bay, first half over 7.5 points. I'm on Green Bay team total 17.5 points, which that is now 19.5 points, and I'm on. I got Green Bay +8 on the side for the game. So those are my 3 plays for today.
All right, man. Did you take that? I know you guys were talking about the Mahomes attempts, but I didn't even see that prop. I know Ricky was talking about.
Oh yeah.
Do you take that? I didn't see that.
I told Ricky. I didn't take it, but I told Ricky that I think Mahomes will throw over 30 plus passes in this game. I think it was like 24 and a half.
It was completions. What you were talking about.
Yeah, was it complete?
I don't know.
24 and a half.
I thought he was mentioning attempts, like 24 out of 30 or 20, whatever. Okay, because I took the completions. The bets I took was Mahomes over 27.5 rushing yards, Kelsey's longest reception 21.5 yards, Sammy Watkins over 43.5 receiving yards total. Mahomes over 24 completions. Tannehill over 18 completions. My teaser, which I mentioned, LSU, I hit on the LSU part. San Fran -1.5 and over 35. Players to score any touchdown at any time. Kelsey -120. Sammy Watkins +170. And Humphreys +500 if his first game back, if he plays. That was just a little we'll see what happens with that. And they also have the New York Rangers in the NHL -125. So there you go, guys. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Doc, we'll talk to you later. And everybody have a good championship day. See you guys.
See you at the window, my guys.
See you at the window.
Cash some tickets.
Yes.
Right on.